Welcome to the Rochester, New Hampshire History Podcast, a monthly show that will shine a light on a piece of history that has been all but forgotten.
The Rochester Historical Society has a huge collection of photographs that capture Rochester classrooms from the late 1800s through the mid-20th century. These old photos show how schools and education looked and functioned across different eras. Some of these children suffered through the Great Depression, while other children lived through a world war, or saw their dad head off to Korea to fight communism. Each image is a story about childhood that is different than today's childhood. At the corner of Salmon Falls Road and Portland Street was an old one-room schoolhouse called the Adams Corner School. It was used in the mid-1800s up to the early 1900s. When the school was closed, the children were transferred to the East Rochester School. On around 1910, a team of oxen moved the small schoolhouse, and it became part of a barn on Portland Street. Here is the interior of the schoolhouse. This is a 1901 picture of the school. I'm always taken aback when I see some of these children barefoot and went to school without footwear of any kind. Just down the hill from the Adams Corner School was the old Nancy Loud School. In 1880, the city built a three-room schoolhouse on Conchico Avenue, which was originally known as the East Rochester School. In those early days, the small school had only 3 teachers. By 1895, the city had more than doubled the size of the building. In 2008, the school was renamed to the Nancy Loud School in honor of Nancy Loud, who served for over 30 years as principal of the school. Here are a few images of the school's classrooms and students. Did you notice the girls were all wearing dresses or skirts? The Rochester School District had a dress code for girls that prohibited them from wearing pants or slacks. This stayed in effect until the early 1970s. In 2024, the school was razed and a public park now exists where the school once stood. The Main Street School was built in 1856. The school was torn down around 1905 and replaced with the Rochester Public Library. The teacher in this picture looks intimidating and probably did not put up with any shenanigans from her students. Did you know in November 1897 the Main Street School had an outbreak of diphtheria among the students? The school had to be fumigated, which resulted in the school being closed for a couple of days. In 1875, a one-room wooden building was moved to Portland Street. It became a school with a single teacher for grades 1 and 2. Soon the lane leading from Portland Street to the schoolhouse became a street and was named School Street. The 1877 bird's eye view map of Rochester shows a body of water directly behind the school. This was Dr. Farrington's fish pond, and a high fence kept school children away from it. This picture is from 1885 showing children gathered outside the small school. Did you know the school was enlarged in 1911 and became known as the School Street School? Here are a few images of the school. The first Maple Street School was built in 1875. The second floor held high school students, and the first floor was a grammar school. This picture is from 1914. In 1931, a new Maple Street School building was built, and it replaced the original, smaller school. Here are a few images of the school's classrooms and students. This school had a great old-fashioned playground. This playground did not have rubber padding, guardrails, and probably was not safety tested. Still, kids played on it, and most walked away with nothing worse than a scrape or a bruise. This school on Granite Street was opened in 1884 with high school classes on the second floor and elementary classes on the first floor. Originally, the school was named the Old High School. Professor William Allen was its principal. He died in 1894 at the young age of 37, and the school was renamed to Allen School in his honor. This old school was torn down in the 1960s and replaced with a new school that was still named Allen School. Here are several pictures of the classrooms and students of the old Allen School. The Gonic School on Railroad Avenue was built in the 1890s with bricks made from the Gonic brickyards. This old school is still used, and with the recent closure of the Nancy Loud School, this building is now the oldest school building in Rochester. Here are several pictures of the classrooms and students of the Gonic School.
This ends the podcast. If you have any questions or comments, please email bobgriffinpodcast@gmail.com and come back next month for another episode of Rochester, New Hampshire History.